Welcome back to the Burst Digital Purpling Podcast. It feels like this should be some Olympic hockey show, but YouTube basically was like, no, you want it to be a Burst episode. We want to focus on the respective team that's involved here, so... Okay, fair dues. Yeah, so... I can't believe I actually missed this. But again, what I don't really like about the closing ceremony of the Olympics is how the way we treat the flag bearers is different compared to the opening ceremony. Because in the opening ceremony, the flag bearers do get shined a spotlight on, and you do get the commentary teams in your respective countries. They do like to mention, oh, this is who's carrying the flag for so-and-so, and there's a bit like what they've done, and what their role is in the games, you know. And if it's not their first one, they'll tell you what they've done previously in the games. So, but the closing ceremony, it's just basically all the flag bearers just go in first, and then after that, it's basically like opening morning at Disneyland. But no! Everyone does mad dashing to whichever land they want to go in first. So for you, Warrior Frozen, yeah! Olaf! Span! Elsa! On a move! Go and make out with Kristoff. Yeah. So it's like, of course, you never really get to have any spotlight focus on the flag bearers of the close ceremony. You may find out who your country's is, but you don't really get that spotlight. It's basically, that's what I said. The flag bearers going first, and then it's everyone else. It's like just. Yeah. Now, I did know about Harry Knight being TUSA's, which are we going to do next time? Yeah, okay, we'll do that. That time, I did know about Harry Knight, but I didn't know about Alina Muller. Yeah, this was kind of about blink and you miss it. But yeah, but the Boston Fleet's Alina Muller got to be the flag bearer at the close ceremony for Switzerland. Right choice. Yeah, absolute choice. Can you believe that Marie Fleet Plen got snubbed for both the opening and the closing ceremony? Yeah. This could very well be her last Olympics. Yeah. This was her 5th games. This could very well, I know she's not indicated yet, but this could very well be her last Olympics. Because by the time we get to Nice, she's going to be the same age Sidney Crosby was in Milano. Yeah. So, and we all saw how well that went down for him. But anyway. But brilliant for Alina Muller, who literally is just a rising star in the game and for the PHL. She did really well for Boston. Yeah, we did obviously when Harry Knight got handed over to Seattle on a silver platter in expansion process last summer. We were all thinking who could now be the next captain for Boston, and we all had Alina Muller as a potential candidate. Obviously, the Fleet chose to go McKenna, which also was a really, that actually was a really good decision for Boston. Yeah, because look where they are. Yeah, they are very much high up there as a contender for the World Cup. But if we go back to Alina Muller, what she's done with Switzerland, it's just absolutely incredible. You know, both times she was a huge factor in getting Switzerland their bronze medal. I can't remember if she got the golden goal in Sochi, but of course, obviously, I'm not going to forget getting the golden goal in Milano, and especially how tight that game was. Yeah, I remember going into the medal game the night before. We were all saying how we would like the bronze medal game to be close. We all knew the gold medal was going to be tight, but we always wanted the bronze medal game to be close because it was sweet. It was Sparrier against Sweets. I'm probably not how you pronounce Switzerland correct in Switzerland. Don't worry, I'm sure Hazel will tell you if you're wrong. I'm sure Hazel will tell you if you're wrong. She's not changed. No. obviously she's Germany's national flag over the weekend, and she was like, she's just not changed. Yeah. She actually lives in Germany, by the way. Yeah. We all feared that might not be because obviously Sweden was just had an incredible tournament getting that male game, and in Switzerland just had a really run part. Well, they had trouble finding shots, just generating those in Milano, and we all did fear that was going to be hard. I also don't feel a lot of people thought Sweden was going to make a match either next, but because people keep saying, "Oh, well, they're winning against Czech, of course." Well, was a shock. It wasn't a shock. It was not a shock. It was not a shock. Czechia did not play well in the group stages, and I'm not surprised. It wasn't a shock. It stung because obviously we had Frost players on that roster, but it was not a shock. It was not a shock. So, yeah, can you please move on from that? Because it wasn't. We know what we're talking about, guys. Okay. So if we say to you it's not a shock, it's not a shock. Okay. Yeah. And the way that bronze medal match was on board, because obviously, what I don't feel a lot of people realise, because the rules weren't explained properly, was in the bronze medal game, if that 10-minute 3-on-3 airtime, if that had still ended scoreless, we would have then had to have gone to the dreaded shootout. I know. And I don't think the rules of that were explained properly. Well, the whole rules in the hockey tournament, both in men's and women's, were just, it was just... Both men's and women's, the rules, it was just like, it makes these something to go along. Even Hatter was like, Hatter obviously with me on the men's side, Picada, he literally just did not like this format. And he didn't like it when we first saw the quarterfinals, and he did not like it for the final. Because he just felt that was not how the gold medal match should be decided. It should be 5-on-5, and I agree with him. And even John Cooper afterwards said, yeah, I didn't like that. But I know some people were thinking, well, hang on, is it because you're on the losing side you said that? And even Rabazowski mentioned it as well. My Sharks coach was like, ooh, we're kind of firing, I was technically team carded for 3 weeks. Yeah, the rules were just being managed to go along. So Beneath, they've got to change that. To have one set of definitive rules for the women and one set of definitive rules for the men, and leave it at that. Yeah. If the men want to do 3-on-3 airtime, that's fine. But I think for the women's game, in the Olympics, it should be, if in an elimination game, you go to OT, you make it 5-on-5, you do it World Cup playoff style until someone scores the goal. Yeah. And no shootouts. I was really glad the shootout was eliminated in the gold medal match, because that's not how you want the gold match style. Plus, if we go back to Pyeongchang, we could have been there all night. Yeah. I mean, didn't we have, an 8-round shootout in this season, the PHL? Yeah, it was Ottawa and Boston. Alexis jokingly said, we could go to 15 at this rate. Yeah. But obviously, that goal that Alina Muller scored in Milano, it was kind of a blink and you miss moment. It happened so fast. I mentioned how in the gold medal game, as we'll talk more as we do our thoughts on the tournament hole, which aren't going to be until we come back from Minnesota. Yeah. But we've actually still got a lot more Olympic coverage to do, so we're actually going to kind of take our time with it. And obviously, you will get our initial thoughts in the next regular season episode, which is coming out this week. But we're going to do an episode, we're going to do our thoughts on the whole, and we're going to just take our time with that. So that'll be till after Minnesota. But I think it always was going to be after Minnesota, because the time frame after Milano to Minnesota was just too short to get off. Yeah. It's just... So that way. No. It's just... But yeah, so I just think they need to change the rules. Just have... I don't mind if the men's rules are different to the rules, that's fine. Because the women's game is completely different to the men's game. Because it's better. It's better. But, yeah. So, Lima getting that goal was just incredible to watch. Highlight reel. And... she's just a huge factor for Switzerland, and could she potentially hold out to the possibility of Switzerland getting the home games? Maybe. Oh, that would be incredible, wouldn't it? I mean, what would she be in 23rd? Probably MPP's age, maybe. So you just don't know. Yeah. So, what do you make of her getting to be the flag bearer for Switzerland in game in the close version thing, not that game. In the close version. What did you make of that? An incredible honour. An incredible honour. Because obviously I think you want to, when you're thinking about who should do it for the closing ceremony, you kind of want to go for that kind of star player. That one player or two athletes, that one or two athletes who just stood out. I mean, but honestly, here was obvious we were going to go for the Scandinavs. Yes, because they literally defy expectations. Yeah. They actually saved our medal haul. Yeah. And so I just feel for Switzerland, you had to give it to Nemo, given what she's done. I mean, going to that tournament, who thought Switzerland would get to the medal game? Not you. No, not me. Not you! I know, not me. But, I mean, you would have thought at the very least they probably would have bowed out the quarterfinals. Because when you knew Switzerland was going to make the knockout stage regardless. The quarterfinals, that might have been the seeding that everyone had Switzerland at. And yet, here they were, came along, shot out Finland in the quarters, pushed Canada to the limits of the 70s, let's face it. If they didn't score that goal to make it 2-1, it'd been scored to make it 1-1. That one, yeah. When Canada got in the same place, when Canada got that second goal, I kind of thought, right, here we go. Let's just start warming up now for Thursday. Yeah. It just did, yeah. Now when Switzerland made it 2, like, oh. Yeah, it's like, oh. So it was just been like it's always just been electrocuted on Big Brother. Oh. You are a sick bastard. You love a good shock suit task, but you would never be seen dead doing it. Oh god, in traitors they made it worse because in traitors they actually had the torture test. Oh no, was it New Zealand? I think it might have been New Zealand. Oh my god, New Zealand, what? Why do you take it to the extreme? Why do you take it to the extreme? Yeah. No, but honestly, it just, yeah. When it was made, when kind of got us to go, I was like, yeah, it's pretty much done and dusted. But Switzerland did make that last sort of 10 minutes interesting. If only you didn't take that late penalty. Okay, Canada might have gone into but at least Switzerland tried. Obviously, going to that bronze match, you kind of felt Sweden had the edge because Sweden had been a very dominant team in the tournament, and obviously the only problem they had in the tournament was the USA. Because obviously that was the only time Sweden got beaten in Milano. They didn't. Nobody in the group came within a scratch of getting Sparia. Not even Germany. Not even Germany, who mean they do kind of think should be Sweden's big competitor in Group B. Not even they got close. No, not even they got close. Yeah, but Switzerland's achievement in this tournament was absolutely incredible, and it kind of felt needed because Switzerland's kind of those nature where you think, why are you there? Why are you in the top division when you haven't got the track record to show for it? Now, in the last few World Championships, they've come like 5th, 4th, which should be enough to prove up, but I know since we're like thinking, really? Especially how last year's World Championships in Prague, where literally they only scored 1 goal in the group stages, and then somehow found a bit of offense in the group. It was interesting we got to those knockout stages and Switzerland then sort of found some offense, and me and you, George, were like thinking, okay, where was this in the groups? Where was this in the groups? Because you could easily score against Czechia, you could easily score against Finland. Where was this? And then obviously in that 5th place match they had Sweden, we're like thinking, oh, well, there we go. No, they beat Sweden. Yeah, they beat them. Yeah. So really, actually, Eddie, we should have been using our experience from Prague to go, well, actually, do you know what? It might actually not miss Barriers Day. But of course, because obviously we were focused, we were basing it on what we saw in Milano, which is kind of what you needed to base it off. We kind of thought, it's probably going to be Sweden. And then Alina Muller gets that golden goal, and just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And she's having a really incredible season as well for Boston. She's one of those key contributors that's got the fleet into this position of potentially winning the league and could very likely be a huge contender for the World Cup. Yeah. It's huge. Yeah. It's just crazy where Boston's come between this time last season to where they are now. It's just, yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible and scary at the same time. Yeah. But anyway, given so much to the game, and it's just been just incredible. Yeah, and quite nice to have that moment. You know, because, I mean, we know it because we see it day to day, every day. But for other people who aren't doing our game, to see these players get the recognition and get that nod, say we want you to represent our country in this big moment and carry the flag. It's just a huge moment. And I think it was really beautiful. The only problem I have, and I will mention it here in night 2, is that it was the closing ceremony rather than it being the opening ceremony. So in the opening ceremony, you've got a higher chance of them talking about the flag bearers, whereas the closing ceremony you don't. Because in the closing ceremony you don't have the flag parade. It's just basically the flag bearers go in, and then afterwards it's everyone else. It's basically just be like one great big massive party. The closing ceremony is always supposed to have that, you know, end of year school disco vibes, or year 6 leavers do vibes. That to me is what closing ceremony in a bit are kind of supposed to feel like. It's supposed to kind of feel like, you know, end of year school disco, where everyone just gets to party. They've made it through the year. They just get to party. It's basically like going to have a great summer. Yeah, that's kind of what the closing ceremony kind of feels like. Yeah, but it would be nice if you try and maybe pick out a particular background and go, or mention what they've done. Because a lot of people might not have seen some of those events that have happened. They would like to focus on their event. So, yeah. But it's absolutely incredible. And Boston, again, just gets to have another thing to add in their resume this 25-26 season. Got a play to be a flag bearer at Olympics, tick. Yeah, that's just incredible. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, incredible. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah. But a huge moment for Boston there. Huge moment. And it was interesting to see how she builds. No. It was interesting to see how she builds from that going forward for the rest of the season. Yeah, incredible. Just incredible. And of course, obviously, she wasn't the only flag bearer. Yeah, she was not the only flag bearer. And there was one other. A huge moment for the women's game, which we'll talk about next time. Yeah. But so just incredible. Where do we think Switzerland will go next? So, because obviously we've got World Championships coming up. Yeah, that's what I can't get my head around, is the fact that we've now got a World Championship still to do. Because normally in previous Olympic cycles, you don't have a World Championship. No, because me and you have done our research on the World Championships, and in the last decade, so the 2010s, whenever there was Olympics, they never did a World Championships. Now, that would always be that would kind of be your fellow year at Glastonbury, because every so often in Glastonbury they do have a year off. It's basically to help to see, you know, with the health of the grounds, all that. That's kind of. That's true. Yeah. So this is the second time it's happened that the World Championships has still happened in Olympic cycle, and it's always going to be like that now, because obviously the World Championships now in November, which you can still do an Olympic year. Yeah. So I'm still trying to get my head around that. It'll be interesting to see if Switzerland can build on from this, because you don't want people like him to basically say that was a fluke. I'm not saying that. No, it would not surprise me if we get to the World Championships and Switzerland bows out early. I would not be surprised if you then say, oh well, one hit wonder. That can make you feel good. Sorry, couldn't resist. Couldn't resist. As soon as you said one hit, I was like, I could not resist. But that's the only line I can remember from it! Sorry, couldn't resist. Oh god, I couldn't resist doing that. That's bad. That's corny of me. I know that's really corny, but I just couldn't. I couldn't resist doing it. I couldn't resist doing it. Sorry, guys. Yeah. What were we saying? Go back to you. Don't mind me. Go back to you. It would not surprise me. I want Switzerland to have a really good World Championship, so we don't have people saying, "Oh, well, what happened to Milano was just one-time thing." No. What's the blue moon? Or in the clips? Don't say eclipses! Don't say eclipse! Don't say it. out to Gudrun. Don't say... He's so mad at me. He's so mad at me now. Don't say it. I'm like, why did you don't go there? I'm like, don't say it, Chris! Don't say it in front of Pluto! Oh, God. Don't say that in front of... He is... Why, George? Why? She's not gonna win! Why? She's not gonna win! She can win the jury, but she will not win the turbo. Australia never does win the turbo. It's like Malta. It's like Malta, but we never learn our lesson. Yeah. Australia, well done. But why do you have to do it the year I'm boycotting? Why? He's really pissed off because he's now found his favourite. Can you not let me have your BBC ID account, George? No, I very well will not let you borrow my BBC ID account. No! But he's in our semi! No! 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 Okay? No. Also, how the fuck do you pronounce our song's name? Any Swiss Germans out there? Can you give me some tips? Like, how did we supposed to pronounce that? And yet we could have had Boy George. This weekend. This weekend! Right, I think it's time to go, because we're getting off post. Yeah. How to know when you should wrap up the show when it's going off post, but yeah. Well, you started, you mentioned the clipses. I'm going to put up some of it afterwards now, aren't I? Just to calm him down. I'm going to have to. That's not your fault. That's your fault. But brilliant for Alina Muller. To be given that honour, you know, and I'd love to hope that in the future see more PHL players get given this opportunity to start first. We need to be more the openest and the closest ceremony, because nobody's going to get a chance of being recognised. You know? So, I mean, major blood boy every time Hazel kept pulling out a flag, somebody from the AHL doing the flag bearer. I know! It's like, for goodness sake. Just make you wonder, was the AHL paying the BBC? Because they just literally just milked it for all it was worth. But anyway, no. Honestly, congratulations to your mother. Very proud for her. A great moment for Switzerland. And also for Boston Beats get say, look, we got a flag bearer. Can any other team say that? Well, yeah, but bitch, I'm the World Cup champion. So I can top that anytime. Yeah, anyone can be a flag bearer. Any team can have somebody for them be a flag bearer, but not everyone can say they've been a World Cup champion. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. That's the way to end it. That's the perfect way to end it. So congratulations to Muller on getting to be a flag bearer for Team Switzerland. Well done, girl. And until next time, I'll say take care and don't forget to build the free.